right, good morning and welcome back to the channel. I really do appreciate you being here. This morning, heading out here for a little bit before work. You know, being with my schedule, I'm not able to do weekends anymore that much. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday before work is the couple hours a day that I get to get out in the water. So you gotta fish when you can, I guess. I'm gonna start out a little bit deeper. I've been doing a little bit of research, and this time of year they should be, you know, kind of schooled up. So I want to check some deeper points and see if I can find anything down there. Right now I got the crankbait tied up, and then I got a jig as well as a chatterbait. I'm gonna try some of those deeper presentations, see if I can't get anything in, and see if I can't get anything in. And then with this lake, this is a lake that I caught my bigger bag in July, so I do have the wacky rig rigged up just in case if that goes through. I'm gonna go see if those fish are still shallow. So that's kind of the game plan right now. I'm gonna head out and see if we can find some fish. Alright, so I started off the day throwing a crankbait. It's something, like I said before, because I've fished the fall bite before, but I haven't really got too serious about it because usually I'm getting ready for hunting or what have you. So you know, just over the last couple of years I've tried to get out more in the fall because I do hear, you know, the bite it's one of the best times to be out bass fishing. So it's something, you know, everything that I read and watched said, you know, they should be, you know, moving bait, you know, somewhat deeper. So that was my plan going in, and I also had the jig tied up just in case, you know, I get the 1-2 punch. And I actually found fish, and you can probably see it on my fish finder. I'll zoom in on it, but they just weren't having it no matter what I threw. They're actually pushing, you can see them, they're pushing minnows up towards the surface, and the minnows were jumping out of the water and I could see them. But I threw everything I had right into the middle of that ball bait, right in the middle of that, you know, school of bait fish, and they just weren't having it. So that was kind of frustrating because they were everywhere, and it's something that, you know, I should have been able to catch a fish, but I couldn't. So after, you know, getting frustrated with that, I moved off back up shallow to the spot that I've been hitting quite a few times. You know what it is? It's like an island of lily pads. So these lily pads it's like 3 to 4 feet, and then on all sides it drops off to like 5-6 feet. It's not much of a drop off, but it's something that they dart up there because lots of bluegills are congregated in there. They dart up there, eat, do what they got to do, and then they can dart back down to deeper water. So that spot has been holding fish for the last month, and so I knew, you know, worst case scenario, said the wacky rig is the only thing they'll bite up there. So I tied that up, went up and started hitting the edges of that. As I pulled up, you know, I made one of my first casts, all of a sudden this giant bass jumps out of the water. And I mean, I could tell from a distance that it was gigantic. So right away, I cast out towards it with the wacky rig, nothing. Do that a couple of times. Switch over to the jig, nothing. Can't even get them to even nip at it. So after about 10 minutes of that, I decided, all right, it's just not meant to be, and I went back to my normal plan. So I'm like thinking to myself, where could these fish be? So I fall back into just flipping docks. So got the wacky rig, hit the docks a couple of times. I was able to get another one out of there. I wasn't too big, I think 13 inches or something like that. And then after I caught that fish, I'm retying or re-rigging, all of a sudden I hear just like gigantic splash back on those lily pads. And I knew that it was the fish I was hunting earlier. So I had a quick paddle, get over there, and I ended up taking my whacking rig and just throwing it as far as I could. I didn't want to waste another second. So I was still probably a good 20 yards away. I whipped that thing. It lands perfectly on the edge of the lily pads, sinks down. I'm still moving forward, so I'm trying to catch up to my line. And I pick up, and there's weight. And so I drop down, set the hook, and my whole rod tip just bends right over. And I knew I'd finally gotten the fish I was after, so I wrestle it in, get it in, and it was a chunky fish. I mean, it was probably like that big around. It was a little bit shorter, came in at 19 inches, but man, that was a heavy fish, and that made the day right there. So it was something that, I started off, things didn't go to plan. And then afterwards, I was able to scrape together a decent bag of 3 fish and get another decent sized fish for sure. So that's really reassuring that I go in there with one plan and adjust and then come out with some fish. So I'm happy about that. And then the other thing I noticed was that that lake, for whatever reason, when it was sunny, I can catch fish small. I think the biggest one I've caught on a sunny day on that lake's been about 60 inches. Not a bad fish by any means. But then as soon as the clouds roll in and it gets kind of like it is today, I don't know what it is, but those fish fire up. And I catch double what I would catch on a normal day. So, and usually the bigger ones move up shallow as well during those cloudy days. So I'm not sure what exactly is behind that, but it's definitely a great pattern to be on. And it's something that, a day like today, I'm kind of just chomping at the bit to get out there. I don't know if I'll make it out today yet, but I know that the conditions are lining up to be a decent day out in the water. All right, so there you have it. Definitely wasn't the best day out there, but it was a great day nonetheless. Happy to start off September with that 19-inch fish. That thing was probably right about 5 pounds, probably just a little under, but extremely excited about that. Also, be sure to check out Pro Tour Baits and Real Fine Custom Lures. Their links will be down in the description. Got my discount codes down there. Definitely save you some money. Check out some awesome companies and get some great baits. Until next time, I'm Tim, and this is Go Fishing.